Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Chronicle, where I talk about my daily life, weekly goals, and the overarching plot of my life. Guys, it's Monday and it's 10:49 p.m. and I don't really know what to do. Um, I guess this week was supposed to be Try Harder Week, and part of that involved a check mark on the dailies, which means I have to do those every day. And I've said before they're not hard, that they're not difficult to do, and they're not. Um, but I mean, a quick rundown on today. After work, it was so hot at work today, by the way. The thing about the factory is it only gets so cold in there, and it does not get very cold in there. It'll always get hot in there. Oh boy, sometimes it'll be too hot in the winter, which is why I always wear t-shirts year round. I don't own any long sleeves, or at least not up until recently when I was gifted a couple for Christmas. Um, so like, it's hot in the factory all the time, pretty much. The AC works, but it's simply not strong enough to keep up with, one, the summer heat, and two, the giant machines that are going at about 400 degrees Fahrenheit all the time. Kind of like gigantic ovens. Sorry, my mom just texted me. Okay. Um, yeah, but I mean, there's no way I do my dailies now and get to bed on time. Speaking of bed, I woke up yesterday, or no, this morning, feeling good, which was weird because I don't think I slept for as long as I should have. Um, but I guess that's just how it goes sometimes. Um, yeah, so I went to work, I came back, I made some food, played a mission of Helldivers, showered, played another mission of Helldivers, and I had free time at that point, but I was just tired. I didn't feel like doing anything. And that's kind of I guess that's kind of the problem I've been dealing with, maybe for like ever, is that I don't feel like doing anything, kind of ever. Um, Actually, also, I did change my sheets and vacuum. Forgot about that. I did that. Um, yeah. Also, I don't think you guys have seen this yet. Hold on. There it is. My if you're audio only right now, which I think at least maybe one or two of you are, my LED sign says yapping on it, which is pretty cool. I know I showed off all the new little eyes that I got up there recently, the different pairs of eyes that I got. But I haven't showed off that one yet that says yapping, which I really like. I feel like it's very fitting for what I do here, which is yap. But anyway, yeah, I remember talking about um, my whole stomach problem to the behavioral health guy, and he did this weird thing where it's like I don't know what it was exactly, but I just said I don't feel very motivated to do anything all the time. And then I told him that I was, in fact, I guess technically doing things, like going to work, feeding myself, taking care of myself, seeing friends, playing piano, playing games. And he said, "Well, it seems like you are motivated, right?" Like I said, I pretty much I said, "I feel like I'm not motivated." And then he said, "You actually are motivated." And that just made me think that I didn't really understand what it means to be motivated. Or maybe it's that I don't understand what I'm doing in the sense that I'm actually doing much more than I think I'm doing. And I've talked about this slightly before. Remember when I talked about the concept of diminishing returns, where once I do something that in the past was hard, it then becomes easy, and I don't feel like I did something when I do it again. The best example of this is recently I cooked several steaks in the past couple weeks, and they were all good. I bought more this week, which I will hopefully eat before they go bad. yeah, but my point is that I'm doing things, but it doesn't feel like I'm doing things, even though I am. And even though I am doing things, I feel like I'm not doing things, and because I feel like I'm not doing things, I then feel bad and like I didn't do anything, even though I definitely did. I mean, one of the main purposes, whole channel, whatever, is like my record, proof that I'm doing things, right? That's what this channel is. It's proof that I'm doing things. Um, and yet I do things, take care of myself, feed myself, shower, clean, cook, whatever, and I feel like I didn't do anything. And maybe it's because I didn't do what I wanted to do. Um, because I've said this before. I struggle with balancing what I want to do versus what I have to do, or what I should do. Right? Like what I wanted to do was just play games. Obviously, duh, that's fun. I wanted to have fun. What I should have done was my dailies, probably practice an instrument, like that. Try harder week, I guess technically. And I mentioned last week where I was like, I feel like I didn't get that clear head feeling from give up week like I did last week, and that is 100% true. Yeah, because usually there's this certain feeling where I'll play video games, for example, for a couple hours, and then I'll be like, okay, that's good. I feel complete. I feel satisfied. I'm done now, and I'm ready to be productive. Um, and I didn't really get that. I was kind of just like, oh man, I really want to have fun, but it felt like life kept getting in the way. Um, so I don't know. I don't want to do another give up week, but at the same time, I try harder week is technically already done. I technically can't do it anymore because I can't get that check on the dailies. Um, so now I'm in this weird position where it's like, well, shoot, I can't do the thing that I wanted to do because I wasn't motivated to do anything. And I don't want to do the thing that I did last week because I guess that's technically a bad thing. I don't know. Um, yeah, because it would just feel weird because, like, I try to make a give up week this. I try to give it importance and significance. So it feels weird to do another immediately after the second one because the time between the first and second give up weeks was months, and it's like the time between the second and third would be literally none at all if I did another this week. And one thing actually I wanted to talk about was uh, at the stage of my life right now, I do not get big breaks. And what I mean by that is with school, what I've been doing for most of my life, you get big breaks. You've got the school year, and then you've got the academic breaks like winter and summer break, right? Huge breaks from school. And what I realized a while ago, or maybe recently, maybe most recently, is that I don't have that. Working a full time job, you don't get big breaks ever. Like you get time off, yeah, but like I worked full time last year, and I rolled over one work week of PTO, paid time off. And I say one work week because that's 5 days. After working for a whole year, I think of course I took probably a few days off over the course of last year. After working full time for a whole year, I pretty much got 5 days of paid time off. Which I mean, in terms of like the length, think about the length of winter and summer break. Those are like, was it winter break is, I want to say usually like a month or a few weeks or 2 weeks at least, and then summer break is like, I mean, practically like a whole month. Was it like I'm just thinking, I believe JCCC that ends in May and starts up again in August. So you've got literally all of summer, literally all of June, literally all of July, and most of August as well because it starts late August. And I'm like, I don't have that anymore because now I'm working full time and I feel like I need that. I kind of want that. And I guess now it's reminding me that that was one of the reasons why I thought about being a high school teacher, way back. And I guess I could actually try that again. Now that I've got my financial aid sorted out a little bit, slightly, kind of, at least more than I did when I first applied to KU. I probably could go there. But KU is so far. I really don't want to. If I do go to KU, I want to only go there twice a week max. Um, and then if I go to like UMKC, that's much closer, slightly cheaper as well. But I don't know. My mom was talking about a scholarship I could get to where I would go to a 4-year college in the state for free, free tuition that is. Now, of course, I would still have to keep up with all the expenses of being alive. So like living, like food, like gas, whatever, rent. Um, but that wouldn't work at UMKC, and I'm only considering or thinking about that just because I have already technically applied there. And they were like, yeah, you can, like, I could still go for a non-music degree at UMKC. Um, and whoops. I mean, yeah, I still think being a high school teacher wouldn't be that bad. I think it would be a nice Monday through Friday. I think I would like to help out in PE because that would keep myself active and in shape, which I think I would like the efficiency there. You know what I'm saying? I remember thinking I was like, why don't I work out nearly as much as I used to? Well, because way back when I was working out regularly, very frequently, multiple times a week, I was leaving work early. And that's something that I don't do anymore because my resolution was to work full time. Now, of course, I could leave. I could probably leave at like 4 every day, and then work out until 5, and then be home by like 5:30 for like food and a shower. Um, but like, guys, I may have there may have been a slight miscalculation in how much it takes to be alive and exist in this economy, and I think that well, I can say with certainty, um, I'm definitely not making as much money as I thought I was. Now, relax, no need to panic or anything. I'm still going to survive. I'm not going broke. I am not losing money. I'm not living paycheck to paycheck. I have plenty of savings. I am fine financially. But it's just whenever I actually ran the numbers again, I was like, ooh, there's way less wiggle room than I thought. And when I think about that, it makes me feel like I really need to work that 40 hours a week. Um, and yeah. So we're back here at what do I do now? Um, yeah. Yeah, because I want to complete Try Harder Week to my standards. I want to 100% complete it, Like with some of the goals, like way back when I started making goals, I was like, oh, to 100% complete this goal, it's got to be in progress for a while. It's not a weekly thing. But like with a goal that's like, make corn, boil some corn, put some butter in there, salt and pepper, tasty. It's like, okay, I did that a couple times. I made corn. That was the goal. Same with like sweet potatoes. Um, I made sweet potatoes a couple times. I did it. That was the goal. But with try harder, it's like, whew, like what does that mean? Oh, well, I define it first, and then I do it, and I know the definition. One of them was do the dailies, and then get practices and whatever. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah. Should I just flip a coin and then let that decide whether I try harder or give up for another week? Ugh. But see, when I say it out loud, give up for another week, it sounds so bad, even though I know that I purposely gave the name Give Up Week to Give Up Week because I was like, it's irony, because I'm not actually giving up. I'm just enjoying my life. Yeah. Well, I cannot decide what to do. That's kind of what I've been doing all evening, actually. Was I was just kind of scrolling and thinking about what to do. I do that a lot, where I think about what to do, but I don't actually figure out what to do. So then I think about what I should be doing forever, and then by the time I'm done thinking, I it's too late and I've ran out of time. Um, so yeah, and I know this is going on for like way too long because this is literally just Monday. I don't know. I was thinking about not doing a daily weekly report at all, and just tuning in on Sunday and then being like, hey guys, it's Sunday. I'm only showing up today for the weekly report. Because that's how it used to be. That wasn't bad. Um, yeah, I could do that if I wanted. Well, I guess not anymore because now I got to finish out the rest of the days because I started with on Monday, so I can't just have a Monday and a Sunday. That would be weird. Okay. guess I'll sleep on it or just think about it in the morning. Staying up and talking won't actually solve anything. It'll just delay the amount of time. My shoulder feels weird again. Before I need to do things. I guess I'll just go to bed on time tonight. Man. Alright, see you all tomorrow, Tuesday. Hello everyone and welcome to Tuesday. Sorry yesterday was so long, even though that's not a problem at all. I'll try and make today quicker because today was, I'd say, about just as eventful, and by that I mean nothing really happened. So today after work, I came home, took a shower, I helped Ink make, chicken Alfredo? That was very, very good, and garlic bread, that was very good as well. Very tasty. And then after that, I just have been kind of playing Helldivers, and I had some protein ice cream. Pretty cool. Didn't taste that different from regular ice cream. And also, I don't love ice cream. Ice cream's cool. Ice cream's great. It's just not, for me. I ate like 1 pint. I don't think that was a lot. It was like essentially like imagine a small tub of ice cream. It was how much it was. And apparently there was 30 grams of protein in it. Anyway, what I really wanted to talk about was yesterday I kept thinking about like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I want this to be a give up week or whatever. It's gonna be a normal week, is what I've decided. Just a regular week. That's what this week is gonna be. Because I forgot I could do that. I forgot that was an option. So it's gonna be a regular week, and I think I was thinking about all the stuff I said yesterday, and I think, and I've probably said this before, I think I just need to be more content with what I do, and I think I would be happier then. So it's like, if I just kind of played a lot of Helldivers today after work and that was about it, that's fine. There can be normal days. There can be uneventful days where I don't really do anything. It's okay to have those days. That's fine. And that's kind of what today was. Like I said, I can't, nothing really of note. I am recording this about half an hour before bedtime, so I do have a little time. I'll probably just brush up on my instruments, and then go to bed on time, and it'll be all good. Straight up. I guess I got a couple other things I can do. Yeah, I need to add this movie ticket to my scrapbook from when I saw Project Hail Mary, and then I've got one more cash from the car insurance that I have not checked. One more check that I have not cashed yet. Is what I meant to say. So yeah, I'll do that. So it'll be a normal week, and I will not feel bad about it. I am a little bit thinking about the overarching plot of my life. But yeah. Anyway, see you all tomorrow, Wednesday. Hello everyone, and welcome to Wednesday, I think it is. Yes. So, surprise, I cut my hair. Again, technically, because I've done it a few times before in the past. So this is, I don't know if this is a big deal or not. It's kind of a big deal to me, but not really, just because I did it myself. So it looks kind of rough right now. You can't really tell because the top's kind of hiding it mostly. But I just buzzed the sides and the back. I would do a full 360, but I'm afraid it looks totally terrible in the back because I can't see it back there. So who knows? But yeah, that's all I did. I just buzzed the sides and the back. I left the top just as long as it is. All I did was I found my what looked like a natural side part. I was like, okay, that looks good. I'm gonna cut right along there, and then boom. So now it's long on the top and short on the sides. I'm also just going with the middle part right now, just because I don't know what else to do with it. I really don't know how to kind of style it when it's like this, because I've never had this hair before, similar to how I've never had the long hair before. It is fairly long on top, and then I took an 8 guard, which is the biggest guard, and I just kind of buzzed the sides and the back. So yeah, I've got a middle part right now, but I think a side part going to either side works too. I don't know if I can quite do that now, because, here, hold on, let me do this, and then I think I can pull it over to this side, and then you guys can kind of see what that looks like. Boom. Okay, not quite. That almost worked. Yeah, it's kind of stuck in the middle part right now, but you can kind of see if I do this. You can see what that kind of almost looks like, right? Right? Yeah, and then let's try and flip it to the other side. Right? Did I just do the same side? That was the Okay, now let's try. Yeah. Okay, I think I did just flip it to the same side. Here we go. Whoop. Boom. That's kind of what it looks like on either side. Um, but yeah, I just went with the middle part just because, like, whatever. Just because that's kind of what it naturally does. I think I could try a slick back again now that it's longer. I think it might look nicer. But yeah, I did that today. I woke up. I couldn't sleep last night. Don't know why. But I woke up like just super tired. I was literally trying not to fall asleep at work today. It was terrible. Um, and then I tried taking a nap at lunch, and then my body was like, "Psych, I'm not tired anymore, and I don't want to sleep anymore." I'm like, "Okay, well that's great." But I forgot my headphones today, which was really awful. So I kind of just laid down. I kind of just rested for like half of lunch, which was good because the new break room, it's got a couch in it. Feels really nice. After work, I got some Subway. Quite good, quite good. I will say the sandwich was, like I said, quite good. This is important to note because it's not usually quite good. I would say I have a not a large Subway order, but it's bigger than most. It's got more ingredients than most. And I know that because I worked at a Subway before. But the guy made it. He seemed kind of nervous and young, which I was like, oh, this is not a good sign. But he made it was good. The sandwich was good. Like when I looked at it, the way it held its shape, it was great. I was like, wow, nice. I thought about giving him like an actual cash tip. I did tip like on with the little digital thing, but I was like, this is kind of really good. After that, I went straight to Pouty's for schedule time, and we played Splatoon. That was good. Then I came back and I charged the clippers, and then while those were charging, I played Minecraft with my coworker. Um, Making moves there, and then I cut my hair, and then I showered. So yeah, now it kind of is, and that's really all I wanted from it right now. I wanted it to be shorter, because it was about, I would say my hair before I cut it was as beautiful as it was annoying, which was very, because it was like long, it was heavy. You know what I'm saying? It would take forever to wash. Um, but now it's not, which is nice. So I'm looking forward to that. I thought about shaving my beard clean off as well. That way I wouldn't have to wear a mask at work. Because I don't know, like I know you guys know this, or at least you should by this point. If you don't, I'd be surprised if you've been watching. But I live my life very efficiently, very easily. Efficiency and ease or easiness are very, very similar. And it would be a lot more efficient, a lot more easy, and a lot more comfortable if I had short hair and no beard. Because then I could wear the smaller hairnet at work. I wouldn't have to wear a face mask or a beard net. I would keep myself cooler, which would be more comfortable while I'm working in my factory job. Um, so I am thinking about shaving the beard off as well. I don't know if I'll do that. Pouty is very adamant against me cutting my hair at all. So I'm curious to see what she thinks of this. I assume she thinks it's definitely a downgrade. And then if I were to shave the beard, I know she doesn't like want that. And I was like, yeah, but it's like I don't really like wearing a mask at work, and I like want to shave it. She's like, no, just be a man and keep it. And I'm like, okay, hold on, really, a real man would do whatever he wants with his hair and his beard, regardless of what other people think. Anyway, that's about all for today, and I'll see you tomorrow, Thursday. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Thursday. So today was fine. I've been doing a lot of thinking and reflecting on kind of just my life in general and why it's is bad and why it sucks. No, I'm kidding. But I have been doing like something similar. I was thinking about Give Up Week last week, and I was like, why wasn't it as good as the first Give Up Week? Um, I think it's because I didn't have as much time to myself, which is kind of the whole point of Give Up Week. The reason for that is because I was staying till work until 5 every day, and I wasn't doing that during the last Give Up Week. I can't remember if I've mentioned that yet. I feel like I have. I've just sometimes I think about saying things to the Chronicle so much that it feels like I have said them even though I haven't. Anyway, so yeah, so I think next week what I'm gonna do just for fun and to have a little bit more time to myself is I'm gonna leave after we're done packing out, I think. So essentially, like technically early, but like not really at the same time because the job will still be done by the time I go home. So I think I'm gonna ask my boss if I can do that next week. I assume he'll say yes because all this staying till 5 p.m. thing is completely voluntary. Um, yeah, my hair looks kind of okay, I guess. Like I said, I've just got the middle part now because I don't know what else to do with it. I haven't seen any glaring issues, but again, I have not looked at the back. I think it looks okay. I remember looking at it kind of in the mirror when I was cutting it. Um, yeah, I don't think it's too bad. I think I might ask Ink to touch it up if it is noticeably bad. Anyway, today, I woke up and I was kind of really tired again. Was it 2 days ago? I got terrible sleep, or like 2 nights ago, technically, right? Yesterday. Like I said, yesterday I was literally trying my best not to fall asleep while at work, while working. Um, and I got a similar feeling today. Um, wasn't nearly as bad, but still, I was just dead tired, and I don't really know why. I'm pretty sure I slept about enough, last night. I think. I'm mostly sure. But again, I still kind of felt like that. And that's a terrible feeling. Let me tell you, that's not a feeling I want at all. There's a huge difference between feeling dead tired, where I'm literally fighting actively to stay awake, and versus just, oh man, I'm kind of tired. You know what I'm saying? Because if I am not constantly fighting to, stay awake, then I'll just fall asleep, and that's bad. If I just fall asleep while working, I'm just gonna flop onto the floor, and people are gonna be like, what the heck happened? And I'll be like, sorry guys, I fell asleep. Um, yeah, so I'm gonna try and avoid that if I can. Anyway, so I went to work. Work was fine. I went to lessons after that. Yes, and then after lessons, I got Jimmy John's, because there's one really close to lessons. Because I liked it so much last week that I went again this week. I was like, man, I want Jimmy John's. So I did that, and I came home, and then I played Helldivers for about an hour, and then I think Minecraft for about an hour. What just happened to my camera? Hello? I think it's still recording, but it just, I don't, yeah, you can hear me, right? Hold on, let me try something. Um, for those of you who are audio only, which I don't know if there actually is, I'm pretty sure my dad and younger sister listen to this audio only, uh, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm only like half sure at least. Anyway, if you were audio only, my camera just froze. No idea why. I think I fixed it, and we're still recording, so I would assume that that's all good. It did that earlier before recording. I don't know what happened to that. I really hope that doesn't happen during the gaming videos because I'm not actually watching the webcam. So that means that it could just freeze mid video and I would have no idea. Anyway, that's mildly concerning. Um, but yeah, so after work, went to lessons, got Jimmy John's, came back, ate the Jimmy John's, played Helldivers and Minecraft, and I very purposefully played games for 2 hours. Because I was like, I would have an hour and a half afterward to do productive things. So I was like, okay, I struggle so much to relax. Let me relax on purpose right now. Um, so that's what I'm doing, and I think I know 100%. I've talked about this before, where I have trouble relaxing. I don't let myself relax enough. I'm too hard on myself. But now I think I'm going to try very intentionally relaxing or just playing games because that's usually relaxing for me. Or sort of just de-stressing. Because after working an 8-hour shift, I'll come home, play one mission of Helldivers, and then be like, oh, okay, that's enough games. I gotta be productive now. No, I literally just half my day. Okay, 8 hours, half my day I just worked. That's not balanced. You know what I'm saying? Working an 8-hour shift, eating, playing a game for half an hour, and then being productive again. It's like the ratio of half hour of game to 8 hour of work not equal at all. So it's like, okay, I want to try a new kind of business model where I play for just like a couple hours consecutively. That way, I feel like I got to do something fun that I wanted to do today before I have to be an adult again. I was in voice chat with my coworker over Minecraft the other night, and I was like, "Hey, where did our other coworker go?" And she said, "Oh, and she almost misspoke and said he went to go play house. But what she meant was that he just had to like go, be an adult, make dinner, eat food, whatever, whatever. So I've been ever since then. I've been using that term in my head all the time. So after sorry, I heard footsteps in the hallway. After going to work, I'll then play games for a couple hours before I have to play house and clean up, do whatever. Like I haven't even made my bed yet today. It's 11:15. I'm gonna go to bed. I guess kind of early today, because I'm like I think I'm sleep deprived. I think that's why I've been so tired. So I'll try and get on top of sleeping. Um, yeah. Anyway, yeah. So I played games. The games were a lot of fun. Helldivers was fun. It's not always fun because I play on the hardest difficulty, but it was fun. And Minecraft was even more fun. Big money moves made in Minecraft. Okay. I got a villager with mending. If you know what that means, you know that's really good. If you don't, it'll take too long to explain. What else? That was the biggest thing I worked on in Minecraft. I think. Yeah. So that'll help a lot in the later. Anyway, I'm overtime for this, so I'll see you tomorrow, Friday. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sunday, the last day of the report. So yeah, quick little update on my hair. I tried the slick back today. It didn't go too bad, I would say. Um, yeah, I mean, it looks okay. This side here is fixed about as much as it's gonna get. I somehow cut it too short. I don't really know how because I had the clippers, I had the guard, and I just went "Rah, rah," like I did with literally the rest of the haircut. So I don't know how that ended up being shorter than the rest, even though I used the same guard. Yeah, I still don't know what the back looks like. And I think I'm just not gonna look at it. And if anyone says, "Oh, this is messed up," hopefully they'll tell me. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, hopefully I just don't have to turn around ever. Even though now I'm saying that, I'm realizing I'm gonna have to turn around to look at the goal board behind me. But that's fine. I am doing this a bit earlier than usual, because I want to do this while Ink is still awake, because I don't want to keep her up. Also, I think I might. It's like 10:47. I might do a little quick, little stealthy, little piano practice, because I'll tell you right now. Next week is not give up week. Next week is try harder week. Then I think I'll outline that once I talk about the goals. Let's start with today's events. I woke up. I took melatonin last night. Before maybe at like 11:30 or something. Because I usually lose a lot of time on my weekends because I sleep in a lot, and I don't really like that. So I was like, I'll take some melatonin, and I'll wake up at a decent hour, rested, ready to go. Um, I ended up sleeping until 11, so I that guess that didn't work. I don't know. I mean, I didn't really get the time that I wanted, but I don't know. I felt fairly rested, I guess. Um, yeah, I still don't like how asymmetrical my hair is. This is really annoying. Not just from the chopped buzz cut that I got or that I gave myself, but also just I've talked about the weird inconsistencies and asymmetries of my hair. Anyway, yeah, so I woke up, slept for about 10 or 11 hours. I attempted to make steak and eggs for breakfast, but the steaks turned out rarer than I wanted. I ate about 90% of them, and then I made two fried eggs in the same pan after the steak. I probably should have dumped some of the meat juices out, because when I make steak and peppers, I leave the meat juices in there when I saute the peppers, and that tastes great. But it kind of made the eggs turn out really weird. I did still eat. I ate one of them and then ate half of the other one and then threw that away, because it was just a little gross. But yeah, so that didn't go quite as planned. I still feel like I don't know how to make steaks. The last two times I made steak, they were more well done than I would have liked. This time, I cooked them for only maybe like 2 minutes less on each side, and they were much rarer than I would have liked. And I was like, okay, I don't really know what's going on here. And also, actually, in my defense, these two steaks that I got, they were an odd shape. They weren't very flat, so it was kind of hard. Maybe that could be why they didn't cook very evenly. But also, I was cooking two at a time. That could be it as well. Um, I don't know. I do still have one left, and I can always just buy more. But yeah, maybe I should cook one at a time. The thing is those what I got those petite sirloin steaks, very good value. I get the three for about $15. They're just not like super filling, but I think they're easier to cook, which is really what I need right now, just while I'm learning how to cook them in general at all. And then after I feel like I can cook steak, I will then move on to chicken. Because I know in the past I tried both of those and didn't quite get it. So now I'm going to try again, and I'm definitely getting it. I'm definitely getting the steak thing. I haven't gotten it yet, but I'm getting it. I could try as soon as tomorrow, and make that third steak. So yeah. So I had steak and eggs, and then I played a mission of Helldivers, and I had my homemade energy drink, and then me, Parkour, and Ink went to Swope Park. which is pretty cool. We went to the nature center. I think it's called the Lakeside Nature Center. We went there, and it was really cool. It was a lot of fun. Um, it has an indoor section with like some animals in like I don't want to say captivity. I think that's technically like what's going on because they are like on display for like educational purposes, but it's not necessarily like a zoo. Anyway, they had animals inside and they had the nature outside. That was a lot of fun. Me, Parkour, and Ink did that, and then I wore like a nice kind of shirt, like a shirt that I like, because I thought we wouldn't be doing so much like off trail, walking around and stuff. But we did do a lot of off trail, stuff in the park. So I was a little uncomfy in my nice clothes, but it's fine. After that, we got Taco Bell, and then after that, we came back here to my place, me and Parkour, and then we had a cigarette out on the balcony. That was a lot of fun. And then we chatted out there until Bones arrived, and then we had movie night. We watched the movie Nine. It's an old movie, came out in 2009, I think, coincidentally. It was quite good. It was about these little ragdoll people that I'll give you the plot. I won't spoil it. I don't know. I guess I feel like no one that's watching this is gonna be like, oh no, don't spoil the plot of Nine. Um, I'm gonna spoil it just because I want to talk about it because it was a cool movie. So it's about these little ragdoll kind of people in a post-apocalyptic world where the scientist invented a machine. The machine was corrupted by an evil dictator, and then the machine turned against humans, killed all the humans with gas, and now it's just machines. Or it's actually at the point of the movie starts, it's one machine they call the Beast. That's kind of about like also the ragdoll people. They're really tiny. They're probably like several, I would guess 6 inches tall. They're pretty small. The little ragdoll people that also is one of the protagonists is one of those little ragdoll people. So it's the little ragdoll people, and then there's the Beast, which is like this big. Imagine it's kind of like I guess a fox or maybe a wolf. I think a wolf would be a better description. And it's kind of like a robot, and it's like mostly skeleton, but robot skeleton, right? Um, so it's the little ragdoll people and the Beast. And the ragdoll people are just hiding until one day Nine wakes up. He is the last of the little ragdoll people to be made, but you find out later in the movie he wasn't made because the scientist that made him died before he could finish him. That part is obvious from the start, but you figure out why later. And then that's the plot. And then Nine wakes up and he is like, "Hey, we should do something instead of just hiding in fear for the rest of our lives." And then I guess now I'm at this point. Now I'm explaining the whole movie. I don't want to do that, so I'll leave it there. Um, but yeah, it was really fun to watch. It was only like an hour and 10 minutes. Fairly short, which kind of surprised me. But that's okay. So we had movie night, and then that was a lot of fun. I just finished practicing electric guitar, and now I'm here, um, explaining my day. Yeah, I do kind of want to keep this short because I want to try and start off Try Harder Week really good because I don't know. I'm kind of like getting scared of being tired because like I don't know what on earth happened earlier in this week where I didn't sleep enough and then I was literally just dead tired. Like scarily unpleasantly tired, right? Not like a usual tiredness, it was a really bad kind of tiredness. I don't want that to happen again. So I'm gonna try and go to bed on time today to start off Try Harder Week good next week. Um, yeah, I've got my journal here. Actually, I guess we should do the goals. But yeah, because that was all today's events. Um, all right. So, supercut, didn't do that. Whoops. Resin goal, still in progress technically. Handstand goal, in progress. Whistle goal, didn't do that. Guitar catch up, didn't do that. Try harder week, failed that. The today was supposed to, or this week was supposed to be art week, but I kind of forgot, so that one's failed. But that's gonna be picked up by Try Harder week. And then the dailies, I got none. So like this week kind of felt like I said, I declared it technically a normal week. But it wasn't give up week because I didn't have a whole lot of fun. So it was more just like a regular week, but it felt more like failure week. And what I did actually notice, I looked at the numbers on my dailies: 4 out of 7, 4 out of 7, 4 out of 7, 3 out of 7, 6 out of 7, 4 out of 7, 4 out of 7, 2 out of 7, 1 out of 7, 1 out of 7, 1 out of 7, 1 out of 7. I've just been slowly declining with the dailies. I'm not entirely sure why. I know I haven't been doing them recently because one of them involves the handwriting book, which is all well and good, except it's just really annoying and I just don't want to. I'm almost done with it. I'm on the last 2 sections. It's just that it's really annoying and I don't want to do it. But I see it like vegetables. Even if I don't like it, it's still good for me. So yeah, and I have to do that to complete the dailies goal for the day at all. Which is reminding me of like I was hesitant when I made the dailies goal because I was like, oh, this is so many things bundled into one, you know. So it's like if I fail one, I fail all of them, and that's fine. I don't think I'm gonna break them all up again into the repeatable goal of apple and then honey and then handwriting and then others that were in there. I think I should start using my day planner again. I am gonna include that into a harder week because I'm back to feeling a bit kind of aimless, and I need to try and focus myself kind of as a person. I was thinking about jobs I can do, or maybe even careers I can do alone, where I work alone. I remember working at Subway. My first ever job at Subway, I would close the whole store. That was my job. Of course, with like the regular being a Subway employee, make sandwiches, do prep ingredients, whatever. But like my shift was the closing shift, and I would close the whole store by myself after I finished training. And if you might be wondering, isn't that kind of crazy for like a 16-year-old to do? Yeah, I was often there until like midnight, closing the store, just because like I was nervous, I was anxious, so I was moving slowly, making sure I did everything done, did it thoroughly, did it well. My boss was like, "Hey, can you like, you need to like not be there till like 12 every day," and I was like. I think I just said okay, but in my head I'm like, yeah, I'm not very good at my job because I'm new and I'm also anxious and stressed, and this is the first time I've been doing this. I remember the feeling like of when one of the first, probably I think the first shift I ever worked alone, I was like doing dishes and there was just a mountain of dishes from the shift before me, and I was like, holy crap, what have I gotten myself into? You know what I'm saying? Like this is way crazier than I thought it would be, and it really is insane that they let a 16-year-old close the store all by himself. Because yeah, I genuinely would be there till midnight, sometimes later, just cleaning, just doing all the regular clothing stuff. Um, yeah, there was a lot to do. Anyway, how did I get on that whole tangent? Oh yeah, jobs I can do alone. I'm thinking about just Googling jobs I can do alone. Because I worked alone at Subway and I loved it. Everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, that must be horrible. Don't you get lonely?" No, I loved it. I never told anyone that because I didn't want to seem like a weirdo who likes working alone. But like it was nice. And like even at my job now, I wear headphones and I hardly talk to anyone because I don't have to, and I don't like to, so I don't. But yeah, so I'm thinking about looking up jobs I can do alone. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but I'm sure they're out there. Um, anyway, I think we talked about all the goals. Yeah, okay, so try harder week. Let's outline that right now. Um, Day planner. We're going to use that every day. Dailies, we're going to get a check on those. We're going to get all four practices on both instruments. That one's going to be tough, but we're going to do it. Um, I guess I don't know. Journal. I'm gonna do that daily, even though do that most of the time daily anyway. That's not very a struggle. The art week we're gonna do. What else is on there? Yeah, the art week we're gonna do. Um, I don't want to promise to complete any other goals. So all other goals will be in progress if not completed. And also I think with the whole goals, I've been talking about how I haven't been making many recently. I haven't been completing many recently. That's okay. Um, I remember I think, didn't I used to have one weekly goal? And then I was like, wait, why do one weekly goal when I could have many weekly goals? And then I was like, well, now I'm kind of not really completing them. So I think I should focus on like all the ones that have been up there forever. I should focus on doing those one at a time instead of simultaneously, and so I can get those out of the way. But for Try Harder Week, it'll just be the art week, it'll be the dailies. I want to make a gaming video every day, so I'm gonna do that. So gaming video every day, dailies every day, art week. I feel like we could probably do that every day, but we only have to do it 4 times minimum to complete that goal. And then make progress on all other goals. Um, and I think that's about everything. Yeah, that I want to do for Try Harder Week. So that's what that is on the day planner. I should use that as well. So that'll be Try Harder Week, and I believe we talked about all the goals now. So let's go over the journal. Also, I think that I mentioned there's no Friday and there's no Saturday. Today's Sunday. I'll talk about those when I get to those on the daily stuff. So like right now. I'm ready to go over the journal. So Monday, after work, I played Helldivers to care myself and tidied up a bit. And then brace yourself. I'm gonna use a swear word. The quote for this entry is, "Dear Diary, what the fuck do I do now?" Because that's kind of just like how I feel after the whole UMKC thing didn't work out. Tuesday, after work today, I got bread to help Inc. make garlic bread and chicken Alfredo, and both were very good. After that, I played Helldivers, and that was fun. And the quote is, "It was a normal day." Wednesday, after work today, I got Subway, had scheduled time with Pouty, played Minecraft, and cut my hair. And then the quote is just sleepy, because I was very tired. Yeah, cut my hair. It looks okay. I don't mind it. Yeah, it's not perfect, and I don't know how I managed to mess this up here, but that's fine. It's good enough, you know? Thursday, after work today, I went to lessons, Jimmy John's, and then played games, showered, and made lunch for tomorrow. And the quote is, "New business model." Oh yeah, I kind of want to try that. Should I make that a goal? The new business model. I feel like it's worth a shot, but maybe we'll make it a goal for like next week. I don't know, because I do really want to try that. The new business model. Because I don't know if the new business model is very compatible with Try Harder Week. Yeah, I don't know. It definitely could be. But I don't know if I want to commit to it. Let's write it down. Let's just put it on the on the wall on the board. Let's see. We'll put it on the wall just so that it's there in our minds so we don't forget it. Business. Goodness gracious, my handwriting is atrocious. Let me fix this. Boop. Beep, 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 beep. And boom. Okay. New business model. There's something in my eye and it's really annoying me. Okay. New business model. Boom. We're going to put it on the board. Dun-dun-dun. Yeah. I don't know if we're going to do that next week or... Like, I feel like it could work. It could work with next week, Try Harder Week. But, I don't know. I won't commit to it yet. Okay. That's the goals. Yeah, so there was no entry for Friday or Saturday. Friday, after work, I came home and... I think I just did like usual daily stuff, you know, like chores, living, you know, all of that adulting stuff that people do. And then, so that new friend that I made, kind of technically, I was like, "Hey, are you busy later? Do you want to play Minecraft?" And they were like, "Sure, yeah." And then they never got on, and they didn't say why either. And I was like, "What the heck?" This was the second time that they've said they were gonna get on, and then they didn't. Now, the first time it was understandable because they said, "Oh, I didn't see anyone in voice chat, so I didn't hop on." Well, me and another coworker were in voice chat. We played until like 2 in the morning, and they never hopped on. Now, I assume that they're going to tell me why when I see them at work, maybe tomorrow, maybe later in the week. And I assume that it's just some ordinary life thing that got in the way that happens. But like at the same time, I don't want to feel like I kind of do honestly feel like I'm annoying them because I'm always asking, "Hey, do you want to play online? Do you want to play online?" When I went to their kickball game, they were like, "We should play Fortnite because I usually play solo and I think it'd be fun with friends." And I'm like, "Sure, I'll play Fortnite." And I texted them like, "Hey, if you want to play and you've got free time, let me know." And then they said okay, and I never got a response from that, which is fine. It was just an open invitation for that. But yeah, and I know they already have friends, because like they have a D&D group that they're in. I'm like, okay, so this person probably has several friends already, and it's sometimes just like harder to be friends with people that have friends, and as someone who has had friends that have friends, it's just like they're usually hanging out with other friends. So that's I don't know, maybe they were with other friends, I don't know, but you know, I don't think they're short on friends, so it's like I don't know. Yeah, so that happened. Friday. Also Friday, it was storming, it rained really bad. And they closed the cafe early. And man, there's stuff that I want to talk about, but that would take time, and now I feel tired, so I think I'll try and wrap this up. Anyway, but key points, it stormed really bad, not that bad. Not as bad as the weather said it was going to be. I picked up some Berry Noir sour ale with mixed berries from the Boulevard Brewing Company on my way home on Friday. because I wanted to try it. I heard it was really good. It wasn't. It wasn't the worst. It was okay. I didn't have it cold, so maybe I'll put a can in the fridge and then have it cold, next week, or I don't know, maybe just on a random weekday. Um, so I'll try it cold and then I will give another judgment on it. But warm, it was okay. And then, yeah, then I came home, I did stuff, played Minecraft, and then that was all Friday. Saturday, slept for like, 10 hours, the usual. I remember I did go to the gym, but not until later. Oh, Saturday I woke up late, had breakfast at my mom's, had chili lime wings, they were very good. And then I believe I had my homemade energy drink, played Helldivers, went to the gym. I only did two-thirds of my workout because I was like, I don't know, I was feeling super, super weird that day. Super anxious, super stressed, kind of, because, I've got this weird thing where I feel the need to be productive 24/7, every single second of every minute of every hour of every day. Um, so that was kind of just like pressing on me. Because my brain is like, oh my gosh, we have energy now. We need to be productive as much as possible, as soon as possible, right now, right now, right now. So then I was like, okay, I'll go to the gym. I got to the gym later than I wanted to, so that means that I was short on time. So I couldn't take my usual longer rest. So I was like, let's try doing my regular workout, but faster. 20-second rests between exercises, and then like 6-minute rests between circuits or sets. So I did that, and then halfway through the second circuit, my brain was like, okay, stop. We're danger zone. Something's wrong. Stop working out right now. Just rest. And I was like, okay, yeah. So I rested for, I don't know, several minutes. Completed the circuit, and then rested for like 15 more minutes, just sitting, just walking around in the gym. And then I did practice handstanding. And then after that, I think I got groceries. I bought bread, an extra loaf of bread, but the less expensive bread. It's not like necessarily cheap bread, it's normal bread, but cheaper than the fancy, nice bread that I buy, specifically to use for peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, because I still have multiple jars of jelly, and 2 jars of peanut butter that I need to finish. I'm sure the jelly is still good because it lasts for like ever. But I don't want to spend my fancy, nice bread on a simple, plain PB&J. So I was like, I'm gonna get less nice, regular bread, for those PB&Js, and keep my fancy nice bread for when I have like a bunch of stuff on there for like my work lunches. Um, I also got kiwis again, and I got blackberries again, because I got them like a week or two ago. The kiwis were like kind of looked like they were going bad, so I threw those out. I've never had kiwis or blackberries before, by themselves. My brain just assumes that I won't like it, and I was like, I need to get over that. I want to, so I bought some fresh ones that I'm gonna try. I think I'll try them on camera, maybe like tomorrow. I think is what I'll do. Probably not both, just one or the other. So yeah, and then I got groceries. Saturday. What else did I do? I remember I did go to bed early. I took the melatonin, visited mom, worked out, got groceries. Saturday, yesterday. I think that was about it. I didn't have any other plans after that. Um, so yeah, I probably just did ordinary living stuff. And then that leads us to today, which you already know about. And I think I'm like right on time. Yeah, I guess for this. Um, so yeah, I also got my mom got me some juice boxes. They're not very good. They're organic juice drink from concentrate fruit punch. They're not very good, but I'm gonna drink them anyway. Um, yeah, and that's everything. I'm gonna look into a job that I can work alone, and I am going to try harder next week, starting tomorrow. And I'll see you all next week. Bye.